Okay, I split this up so that you could just go to case 2 if you wanted, a little more quickly and easily. Case 2 for domain. Now, this is case 2 as I've described it. You will probably see it described differently elsewhere, but the principle is the same. If you're trying to find the domain of some function that involves a square root, say this right here. This particular example is f of y is equal to the square root of 10y plus 8. The reason why this is f of y is because I've used the letter y in the actual function. If this were an x, or if I have x's instead, then I would change this to f of x instead. So how do I find the domain of something involving a root? All you have to do is say, we want this thing to be positive. We also want it to be the smallest that we want it to be is 0. So we're going to use that fact, that statement in English, to write a math sentence involving this, a math equation involving this, or inequality as you'll see, that will tell us what the domain of this is allowed to be. Previous video, or in another video, I talked about how the domain is just concerned with the x values, and that's still true here, no matter what case you're talking about. So we're just looking for what x values are we allowed to pick that doesn't ruin this. Okay, so to do this, all you have to do is take whatever expression is inside the square root. That's why I kind of started by underlining this. And you're going to take it, and you can write it, you can ignore that, 10y plus 8. Now, for this, I just want to know, when is this expression going to be at least 0? And it's okay if it's actually equal to 0 as well. It just can't be smaller than 0, because then we'll be taking the square root of a negative, and that's what we do not want. So to set this up, just take whatever's inside of here and write it as the expression greater than or equal to 0. That's what we want to find out. So how do we find that out? By solving this. First, subtract 8 from both sides, and you're left with 10y is greater than or equal to negative 8. Divide both sides by 10, and you're left with y is greater than or equal to negative 4 over 5 when you reduce. So this tells me that the domain of this function must start here and increase. This is what the math statement literally says, that the y values are going to be greater than or equal to negative 4/5. So what that means is my domain in this case is going to start at this value, and it'll be all numbers that are greater than or equal to negative 4 over 5. And that is how you find the domain when you have a root.